Invisible Woman versus Adam Eve. Sue Storm's the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four, with some pretty OP force fields on her side. Today, well, she's going up against Adam Eve, with the powers to manipulate pretty much anything, a pretty broken power in and of itself. So, who's coming out on top here? And really, is it even going to be close? Well, let's get into it. Susan Storm is a founding member of the Fantastic Four, and later the Future Foundation, along with her husband, Mr. Fantastic, her brother, the Human Torch, and her friend, the Thing. She's able to create invisible force fields of any shape she wants. She's able to turn herself and anything she's in contact with invisible. And trust me, that's a lot more broken of a power than it seems. Like for instance, while it looks like Sue is just creating force fields or turning invisible, Mr. Fantastic actually believes that she's manipulating vibrational energy from a higher dimension, with that dimension being the home of the Celestials. The only limit to her power is really her own imagination, and she's just scratching the surface. Invisible Woman is actually capable of both creation and destruction. So like when she's turning invisible, she's actually manipulating cosmic energy all around her, and it explains why her invisibility is just so gosh darn good. She's able to hide from the most advanced tech on the planet, tech that's light years more advanced than the technology of Earth, from people with enhanced senses, from magic, from cosmic beings like Silver Surfer, and even Galactus. When Invisible Woman turns invisible, she really truly is invisible. She's also able to turn anything and everything around her invisible. While this typically just looks like turning a spaceship invisible or other members of the Fantastic Four, it can range up to spreading across several states, making them invisible too. And she also has some pretty insane control over her invisibility powers as well. Like she's even able to make people go temporarily blind by making their optic nerves invisible. However, most all Sue's power actually resides with her force fields. This is the reason why Dr. Doom, Professor X, Mr. Fantastic, and pretty much everyone else has said that she is the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four, and by a large margin. Like for starters, while Sue's force fields are pretty much impossible to break, she's been able to hold back the Thing, the Hulk, Gladiator, Thor, Silver Surfer, and shield herself from their attacks, all while for the most part they were bloodlusted and trying to kill her. And it doesn't just stop there, that's genuinely just scratching the surface. She's been able to create a force field all around the world that was holding back punches from the Sentry. She's blocked a blast from Godzilla, she's repeatedly blocked blasts from Galactus, she's held back all the Avengers all at once, momentarily held back an incursion, or the collapse of two universes, and even managed to hold back Godzilla again, where in that same comic, while Godzilla tore through Celestial and one-shot Thor. So yeah, when Invisible Woman throws up her force fields, well, you're just not getting through those things, no matter how strong or powerful you are. The thing is, Sue has also learned how to use all these force fields in a fight and use them offensively. And she's just really dang good at it too. Like Invisible Woman has been able to send the Hulk flying. She's managed to throw around and damage both Thanos and Galactus. She's repeatedly beat up on Dr. Doom, thrown around the Avengers or the X-Men. Sue has even managed to hold back Celestials and rip apart their armor. She can create all sorts of weapons and constructs out of her force fields, throw them around with ease, and it really doesn't have to be big stuff either. Sue can think and go small with it as well, like creating a force field inside someone's body, shutting down their heart, their lungs, their brains, or even just simply making them go pop. In short, Invisible Woman isn't just the most powerful member of the Fantastic Four. She's one of the most powerful heroes that Marvel Comics has to offer. Period. Samantha Eve Wilkins was born the perfect product of a government experiment. A government experiment designed to create a superhuman capable of manipulating matter down to the molecular level. As a child, Eve was unusually smart and drawn to chemistry and physics, only to discover as a teen that she had the remarkable power to manipulate all matter and energy around her. Deciding to become a superhero, she adopted the name Adam Eve, began to fight crime alongside Invincible and the Guardians of the Globe. Eve has the ability to see any atom on the molecular level, with the power to manipulate the atoms or even creating new forms of matter, all on a molecular scale. So literally, she can take anything and turn it into something else, manipulating anything and everything around her. She can use it offensively, defensively. Adam Eve can do whatever she wants, and her being creative and versatile with her powers is actually one of the best things about her. It's what allows her to fight against such powerful beings as Viltrumites. One of Eve's main things is creating and controlling psychic hard-like constructs. It's all her pink energy. She's actually ridiculously strong with these constructs, able to move around hundreds of tons and knock out people with just one hit. And at her best, well, Adam Eve has been able to use some of her constructs to hold down, overpower Viltrumites, even some of Thrag's children. She's knocked out Universa, even managed to hold down Alan the Alien, a being who's a rival to the likes of Battle Beast, Omni-Man, or Thrag himself. And her force fields are just as strong too, with Eve regularly using these shields to actually restrain enemies, hold them down. Her shields have held back different Viltrumites, blocked a whole lot of Viltrumites actually, held back Ragnars, who are just as strong as Viltrumites, even knocked around both Invincible and Alan the Alien. And let's just say, when Adam Eve gets going, well, you really don't want to mess with her. You don't want to get on her bad side. Then on top of creating these hard-like constructs, well, a whole other part of her powers is transmutation, transforming one thing entirely into another. And it is quite as simple as that. Adam Eve can, on the subatomic level, transform atoms into different atoms and create anything that she wants. She's got control over the very elements themselves, manipulating air, water, the ground, or electricity. She can launch out blasts of pure atomic energy that are powerful enough to burn Viltrumites like Conquest alive, and Adam Eve is even able to manipulate people's minds. If she wanted to, well, she can affect the cells and chemicals in people's brains, altering their minds or personalities to become different people, erase memories, or even leave people straight brain dead. And as if that wasn't enough, Adam Eve is a very, very hard woman to put down. In fact, she might be straight up impossible to kill. Eve can regenerate herself and others on the atomic level, instantly restoring herself to full health, even from fatal injuries. She can even self-resurrect from the dead, coming back to life in an instant at full strength, essentially making herself immortal. Now, Adam Eve does have some mental dampeners that have been placed around her power. She can't directly affect people or organic material, but when she's at her lowest or in moments of extreme stress, well, she's able to move past these limits and access her full power, seeing, touching, tasting, every little piece of matter or molecule around her, having the power to rearrange all of it, even the very cells and chemicals that make up living people. At her best, Adam Eve has been said to be omnipotent without any inhibition. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Now, Adam Eve is a seriously powerful hero. She's legit one of the most powerful heroes in the entire Invincible universe. Like, legitimately, at her best and on the upper end of her feats, well, Adam Eve has proven herself to be on par, able to beat up Viltrumite level characters, going up against Universa, Conquest, Alan the alien, Viltrumite half-breeds, even her husband Mark. In fact, Robert Kirkman, the creator of the series, said that Adam Eve could beat Invincible, that her powers were always better than his writing, that he could never really truly write just how much potential she had and just how powerful she should be. But even just putting her up against other Viltrumite tier characters, well, Mark was able to tackle Alan into the moon. Omni-Man stopped an asteroid the size of Texas. Heck, you can even consider when 3 Viltrumites teamed up, helped blow up a planet. Adam Eve should comfortably be in the same power level as all these guys, especially if you're factoring in her full potential and unrestricted form, where she was described as omnipotent and burnt conquest. One of the most powerful Viltrumite warriors out there burnt him alive. Even being able to fight against Viltrumites and keep up with them should give Adam Eve some impressive speed feats, considering that every Viltrumite is able to move and fight faster than light. But here's the problem. Adam Eve fights kinda stupid. At the best, well, her powers are limited by her mental blocks, and so she's not manipulating organic material, but she's basically a reality manipulator where the sky is the limit with her powers. At her worst, well, Adam Eve is just building pink walls that easily get smashed to pieces, or she's trying to get into a fist fight with a Viltrumite. And Adam Eve is usually always operating more at the low end of her power range. She's very rarely using her powers to their best or their fullest potential. On the other hand, well, Invisible Woman has absolutely mastered her powers, and her powers are just as broken and OP as Adam Eve. Like, not even touching on the force fields yet, it is totally possible for Sue to remain hidden throughout this entire fight. And Adam Eve never even lays eyes on her to actually fight her. When an Invisible Woman turns invisible, well, she is just full-on invisible. No one can find her, not the most advanced tech, not the most enhanced senses, not even other abilities like magic or the power cosmic allow her to be seen. So there's really nothing Adam Eve can do. She would just literally never see Invisible Woman coming. And then there are the force fields. And on one hand, Invisible Woman throws up a force field, there's literally nothing that Adam Eve can do against it. There's just absolutely no way that she's breaking through a shield. Not when Hulk hasn't been able to, not when Thor hasn't been able to, not when Surfer or Sentry haven't been able to. All characters who are leagues and leagues more powerful than Adam Eve. And not when the shields are holding up to energy blasts from Godzilla, Galactus, and Celestials. Just absolutely no way that Adam Eve can get through. And it's also not just physical attacks like that either. Sue's shields have stopped Jean Grey's telekinesis and telepathy before. They've stopped Molecule Man's molecular manipulation. It's totally possible that absolutely nothing Adam Eve does can get past Invisible Woman's shields. That also works the same in reverse. Because just like Sue can create a force field around herself and protect herself, she can also create a force field around Adam Eve. And again, nothing Eve can do is gonna be able to break through. She would literally just be stuck there for forever. None of her powers can get through the shield, and Sue would have no problem just holding it there indefinitely. Because she's held a whole bunch of people who are way stronger for way longer. And then there's also just the fact that Invisible Woman can use her shields offensively, just absolutely wreak havoc. She's able to throw around some of the ultimate heavy hitters in Marvel. Literally one shot. Guys like Namor. She's even managed to mess up Celestials and Galactus before, which would put her right up there in power with someone like Thor, the god of thunder. Maybe if you want to say that Adam Eve is using her full power set, is unrestrained and going for the kill right out the gate, she has a shot at winning. but that's just not true to Adam Eve's character, so we can't include it. And outside of that, well, Invisible Woman is literally stomping in every other way. Sue really is just that powerful. Invisible Woman wins.